How's it going, guys? Sirius here, and today I'm going to talk about some upgrades I'm doing to the build. Now, as you can see here, the Elder fight is going really well. His life is just melting away. I didn't have any problems fighting any boss right now so far. Let me just skip the part where he's invulnerable. Look at him die so fast, it's very nice, especially for such a playstyle where the enemies are focusing on your totems. Now here's a tier 16 map that's delirious and also is empowered by about 6,000 wisps. Careful to say that delirium with wisps is very hard, especially on tier 16. Look at the build going. Our life is always up and we kill everything really fast. This isn't even with the full gear upgrade. I still have a way to go. Let's have a look at what we've accomplished so far. As you can see, I already have the invitations done. I'm currently working on the others as well. And my atlas has been fully completed and I have killed all the new bosses as well and gotten all my 4 void stones. Now as for the build, we're looking at 1,921 dexterity. I want to aim for at least 2k. The primary upgrade that we did was we recrafted the rings. Look at them, they have a lot of dexterity. I removed the crit flask and replaced it by one that gives me chaos resistance. That fixes it just a little bit. And I also put some quality on my gems. The frenzy gem is very nice to have quality on because it gives you an extra 2% attack speed and attack damage per frenzy charge. We have 4. Later on, when I hit level 95, I will be having 5 frenzy charges. Now I'm going to show you the very simple process that I used to craft my rings. This one being very nice so far. Of course, this is not an endgame ring. However, for now, this will do. Now I bought this base for 1 divine from the trade site. As you can see, first of all, we're fixing the implicit with the blast orb. We want to hit it perfect, of course, because this is very easy to do. Next, we need to buy catalysts that enhances our attributes on this ring by 20%. As you can see, the attribute roll went from 15 to 18. Now, of course, this also will affect the dex roll. We'll be using the Deafening Essence of Sorrow to guarantee a dex roll on each time we roll on the ring. We want to keep rolling until we are satisfied with at least having life on it and maybe some resistances. Let me speed up the process until we hit something good. Now, of course, the ideal mods would be a high tier resistance, high tier life, some flat damage to attacks, gold especially. Now we had to buy more essences because it's hard to hit tier 1 life, and each time I hit it, it was really with bad suffixes and prefixes. So I kept rolling until we hit something at least decent. Now, as you can see, I had to settle for this because I needed the currency for something else. It has okay life, some flat damage, great dexterity, and a good chunk of resistance. But I'm mostly happy because it has an open prefix, so we can craft added flat cold damage to it. Now the thing is that we hit the wrong resistance. However, this is not a problem. We'll go to the fortification station and we search for the cold resistance converted to lighting, and just we hit it, we spend some juice, and there we go. Our resistances have been fixed. Now let's talk about what I believe is a nice chunk of damage upgrade, our Mercenary. I am still using Zari. Now I have upgraded her life to be 4.7k. She has a ton of evasion, some armor, and I have capped all her resistances. Now let's talk about the gear. I bought her bow that has around 700 just elemental DPS. We're still using the leather cast festival mask for an increase 50% in damage. Now I've chosen to take the unique quiver Ahuana's Bite because of the line enemies chilled by your hits have damage taken increased by chill effect, and chilled enemies as tough, dealing 91% more damage. This is a very nice damage boost. We're still using the same amulet as last time with the Anoint, Ash, Frost and Storm for more effective non-damaging ailments and a chance to shock. Now I bought her this nice unique ring that has a nice chunk of cold damage, and here I'm just using another ring that has some flat damage and resistances in life. As for the body armor, I got a really nice body armor from Mercenary. It has decent evasion and armor, some spell suppression, giving Zari a total amount of 88% spell suppression. I will get the rest on the boots, but it gives us a lot of life. Now as for the belt, we're still using the same belt as before to try and mitigate some of the enemy's physical damage into elemental damage. We're using now the Painseeker gloves. They have some nice flat damage to them. However, we're using them for the line inflict non-damaging ailments as tough as 191% more damage. This is very synergistic with the ring and the quiver. Adding to that the ton of cold damage that we're getting from our bow. And finally, we're using boots that have some movement speed, some life and some resistances. However, the implicits are very nice. Gain % physical as cold is also nice for extra damage. However, the one that I like is the dropped sapped ground, because when enemies stand on your sapped ground, they will deal less damage. Now of course I'm gonna be upgrading the boots for higher life and some more spell suppression, but this will come later on. But I realized that this Smirk is very tanky, even though his gear doesn't seem to be the best. However, he never dies, especially when we kill things very fast. And I even done a map or two that are tier 17 and the Merc never died. Now I forgot to mention that now we summon 16 tokens. On the last video we used to summon 15. This is very nice for an extra chunk of damage. For my future upgrades, I'll be working on my belt just a little bit to try get something more useful. And I'm aiming to get an awakened elemental damage with attack support. As to quality, all my gems, I still have some that are unqualified. And of course I want to try and get a siege ballista that's level 21 and get a corruption on my body armor to +1 to level of socketed skill gems, because the siege ballista I believe at level 21 or 22 will grant you an extra totem, so we'll be looking at 17 totems. As well, when I hit 2k dexterity, we'll be gaining one more totem, giving us a total of 18. After that I will be removing the faster attack support and using an enhance to get more quality on my siege ballista, so that we can get more attack speed per maximum totem, and inherently this will result in more and more damage. There are still some upgrades to be done. I will try to do them as fast as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to check POE GUY for the more detailed version of the build. I will have a link for his channel down below. And as always, like if you like, subscribe if you want, and thank you for watching.